Hello. So here I am with a wrap up. It is Sunday. I'm trying to do these every week, but sometimes I fail. But I did this week. I was able to. So I read. Let me see. 7 books this past week. Um, first book I read is technically a reread, but I read it so long ago. I think I had like just graduated high school. And I didn't like it the first time around. But this time I was maybe 90% of the way through, and then I purchased books 3 and 4 in the series, and I pre-ordered book 5, which recently came up for pre-order. Now you know what I'm talking about. It's Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive. Brandon Sanderson is, you don't need me to tell you about Brandon Sanderson. He's the current darling of the fantasy world. And yeah, he's real fucking good. Like, yeah, sure, yeah, he is. He just is. So this is a epic fantasy series with this world, and man, it's hard to explain. I realize epic fantasy series with this world is like the worst explanation you could possibly give, but we've got war going on. The world building is intense. I don't think I knew what this was about before going in the first time. I just knew that everybody loved Kaladin, and they love him for a reason because he's the best character that's ever existed. Yeah, no, I have a lot of feelings about this, and very few of them are like able to be articulated. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars on the reread, and I do own Oathbringer and Rhythm of War in these beautiful giant hardcovers, and I do have the 5th book, whatever it's called, I forget, pre-ordered. So Wind and Truth or something, I don't remember. But yes, I did read this. Alright, then I read The Dead Girlfriend by R.L. Stine. This is a little, like, it's not a point horror because it doesn't have point on the top there, but it is kind of a point horror. It's the same deal. It's the same idea. It follows this girl and she moves to this new town and she meets this hot guy. But unfortunately, he might have thrown his old girlfriend off of a waterfall and killed her. So we've got a lot going on there. It's kind of predictable. It's R.L. Stine. You kind of know what you're getting into. It's fun. It's one of the R.L. Stine teen books. One thing I really appreciate about R.L. Stine is that his teen books tend to not have any sexual content in them, which I don't care about for my own personal reasons, but when it comes to putting them in my classroom, I can do that because like I teach 5th grade, and so that's really nice. It was fine. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It's fine. Then I read a Kindle book, and that is Hybristophilia by Ronnie Fordham, who, despite the name being spelled Ronnie, Ronnie is a man. And I wouldn't normally bring that up, but it's kind of, there are a lot of aspects of this book that make me say, oh yeah, okay. So this book, it's a self-published novel, like serial killer novel, and it follows this serial killer. And we got almost like a cold open where like we see these two lesbian ghost hunters who are like making YouTube videos. We see them like breaking this house, and what they do, this is where I say you kind of tell that it was written by a man. What they do is they break into these haunted places, and then they like film a sex tape there, and then they post it online. Anyway, they both die. And then we get this weird convoluted plot point where the serial killer that has been killing these people all across like kind of like the Bible Belt area has been has offered to give an interview to this like news lady, and it's a lot. It's not very well written. It's a lot. It's not, like I said, it's not very well written. It's the characterization is so just overdone. We get a lot of lesbians, which is not a bad thing. But you can tell because in the author's afterward in the back, he was like it's time for lesbian serial killers, and it's like written in all caps, and you can tell like he really believed like that was his goal here, and there wasn't much else after that. Like that was it. That was what he had. And it was like the characters had nothing going for them other than the fact that they liked women. He tried a little bit with the serial killer to make her kind of sympathetic in a way, and it didn't really work all that well. And the twist, I actually have a big problem with the twist. A lot of people have a big problem with the twist at the end. Honestly, given the rest of the book, the twist was fine. I think I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I do not remember. All right. Next, I finished a reread of The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. It's a good book. Rereading this, I was like, this might be the best book in the series, in the Heroes of Olympus series. So the Heroes of Olympus is a sequel series to the Last Olympian, the Percy Jackson The Olympian series. And it does it follows Roman and Greek demigods as they try to, save the world and all that fun stuff. This one, we get the big Nico scene. We get, I think, a lot of characterization for Jason, actually. I really like Jason, and I know a lot of people don't really like Jason, and I know a lot of people feel like he's very boring, but I think he's got a lot going on under there, We got some good Leo stuff. We got some good Frank stuff. It's a good time. I think it's everybody I don't have anything new to say about the House of Hades, but it's a good one. All right, next up, I read Go For It Nakamura by Sionde, which is it's not a single volume. There are two of them. The other one's called Go For It Again, Nakamura. But this follows this very shy and awkward gay boy in Japan, and he has a crush on this boy in his class, and he's never talked to him before in his life, and he doesn't know how, and he's very, very scared of it. He also really likes octopi. That's just kind of a part of this. There's a part where he does fantasize about the boy he likes and some tentacle situation. I'm not going to show you, but it is one page and he kind of snaps out of it. It's very funny. It's Nozaki style is kind of how I always put that's always my comparison for the funny manga and stuff like that. It's like Monthly Ghost Nozaki-kun, except for not as good. But no, I really enjoyed it. I am looking forward to picking up the second volume at some point. I mean, it's not a book month. It's not another book month till October, so probably in October sometime I'll pick up the second book. But no, it was very cute. This book also, the cover is got kind of memed, it became a trend for artists on Tumblr a little bit ago. That's where I heard of it. The art style is cute. It's a good time. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. All right, then I read the next volume, volume 9 in Battle Royale, the Battle Royale manga. I've been collecting these since high school, and I'm always mad at myself because when I was in high school, these cost $4 on thrift books, and I had them all, and now they cost $30 on eBay because they're out of print in a way that everybody wants them, and it makes me really mad. Anyway, this is a manga adaptation of the novel by Kosho Takami, which is, I love it. The manga, the novel, and the movie are all very, very different. I mean, they're roughly the same story with roughly the same characters, but each one kind of expands on it a little bit more. The movie is bare bones. I watched the movie before anything else, and I think that's kind of the way to go. You watch the movie first so you don't get disappointed in it, and then you read the book, which expands on stuff, and then you read the manga, which expands on stuff more, and also it's extremely gratuitous in a lot of ways. It's honestly, it is an ugly series. The art style is not nice. It's not nice. The characters either look 5 years old or 40 years old. None of them look like the 15 they're supposed to be. But I really love it. I think I just really like this franchise. I really like the characters. I have a really good time with it. Honestly, I do. I think it's definitely an acquired taste, and it's not something that everybody's going to like. But I really, really enjoy it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. All right. Next, I read, I know this has a different title now, but I have an old copy. That is George, I think now has been titled Melissa, but this is a story following a 4th grader who is very uncomfortable in her body and does not really know, is trying to figure out how to tell people, basically, because she knows, and she's comfortable with herself knowing, but she just doesn't know how to tell her mom and stuff like that. And I think it was good, honestly. What's weird is that I've only ever heard this being talked about as a middle grade novel, but it's not written like a middle grade novel. This is a middle grade novel, and if you even look on the inside, this is a children's novel. It's written like a children's novel. The main character is 10, and kids normally they'll read up, they won't read down when it comes to ages. So that's just kind of weird to me. I get it's because the subject matter, but it's not it's not inappropriate, it's not talking about in detail all sorts of things. It's mostly about how this 4th grader wants to play Charlotte in the school play, but nobody will let her because of gender reasons. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's not like perfect, but I can understand why it made as big of a splash as it did. That's that. Currently, I'm rereading what might be my favorite book of all time. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite book of 2023 was The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. My favorite book the year prior was Glamorama by Bret Easton Ellis. And after I read The Shards, I was like, well, which one do I like more? And so I'm rereading Glamorama now, and I am like 280 pages in, and I think this might be my favorite book of all time. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It's not just better than The Shards, it's better than literally everything else that's ever been written ever. So there's that. I'm also like, I really liked it the first time around, but this time I feel like I'm understanding it. And it's wonderful. I can't wait to read it again in 2 years and be like, understand even more. You know? I don't know. It's a good time. So these are the books I read this past week. That's all every day. I'll talk to you later. And goodbye.